We are live. Welcome to this Thursday's Colorado Chronicles, where we cover the latest topics, the latest happenings in the Colorado market. Uh, Thank you, All About Roofing, for keeping me honest. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for jumping on. Hey, as you guys jumping on today, we have a fun list of topics today, and I got a couple uh, lists for you at the end. We're going to talk a little bit about a couple new rewards for Colorado properties. We have a couple new developments going on in the area, and then at the end, I'm going to hit you with the top 5 apps I recommend that you download to your mobile device to make the most of your Colorado summer. And then I'm going to finish up the evening with some a pros and cons list. I'm going to give you 4 pros and 4 cons of living in Evergreen, Colorado. So as you guys jumping on, do me a favor, let me know who's on here, who's with me tonight. Let me know in the comments where you guys are watching from. I was checking the stats earlier today and I was pleasantly surprised getting a lot of international views on the Uncut Somewhere in Colorado channel. Um, that's cool. So welcome. Had a client in town from South Africa just the other day. We were taking around looking at properties over in Conifer and Evergreen, and that's fun. So um, let me know where you guys are watching from as you're jumping on. This is meant to be interactive, so do me a favor. If you're watching live or if you're watching later, drop your questions, drop your comments below. And if you have questions, I'll get back to those next Thursday if you aren't on the live with us. So you could drop those below. You could also always reach out to me at my email address, sean.murphy@moxiepropertygroup.com, or you can find me on the gram IG at Rocky Mountain Murph. So, welcome. Thanks for jumping on tonight, guys. I am running on fumes. I've been up since 2:30 today, and it is hitting me. I'm getting by on cigars and Celsius today. So, let me know who's on here with me. Good evening. We got dumped on by all that snow on Tuesday, and then it's all gone. Pretty much all gone. Some areas of Evergreen and in the hills, after you get about 8,000 feet of elevation, they still got some snow up there. But it's that seasonal snow, that wet, sloppy May snow, and it tends to go pretty quickly. Finishing up my cigar as I go through this. .com. I forget. I forget what Expedia.com. Yeah, I just got a whole bunch of sound bites in my head here. But let's get into our first topic today. We are going to give a shout out to the Crawford Hotel. The Crawford Hotel has been recognized by TripAdvisor as one of the top luxury hotels in the country. That's pretty cool. Of a list of 25, it made 24. So not last, but it made the list. So congratulations to the Crawford Hotel. This is down at Union Station. And, a couple years ago, it wasn't feeling like a great place to be. I would say there was a lot of extracurriculars going on outside of the hotel down there by Union Station. But I really feel like they have some extra security, extra police officers in the area, and it's making it feel a lot more welcoming. Also, making it welcoming is this place the Crawford Hotel underwent a $11 million renovation in July of 2024. So a lot of good things going on over there. I haven't stayed there, but it is the only Colorado location that made the list. So kind of nice. You can commute in directly from the airport, take the train directly to your hotel, and then you are in the heart of downtown. Walk over to McGregor Square, go watch a Rockies game, go watch a Nuggets game, and yeah, you're right in the heart of it. Plus, you wake up, you got Snooze, one of the better breakfast spots in Colorado, in my opinion, right there. You don't even have to go outside to get it. So shout out to the Crawford Hotel. They did a whole lot of upgrades to the guest rooms, the lobby, the parlor, and I forget what the bar in there is called. William and Graham. I want to say William and Graham is what it's called. But man, some of the best old fashioned and Manhattans I've had in the city is sitting up at that bar top there. So that is cool. Shout out to the Crawford Hotel. One of, we're getting recognized for a few of our hotels. So if you're looking to visit Colorado, Crawford Hotel is great. Brown Palace is another really sought after one. That one's been around for ages and was one of the first luxury hotels in the city. And then we have the one that looks like an aspen tree, the Populous Hotel, right there by Civic Center. So we are popping off, becoming way more welcoming. And then you have the Gaylord Convention Center out there by the airport. So uh, cool stuff going on. Maybe they will comp you for, I know, hey, at some point we will have Sean Mr. Murphy being welcomed to give a shout out, give tours, and give some extra publicity to these spots. Not yet, but what we need is more of you liking and subscribing to the channel. So if you haven't yet, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up on the video. I appreciate you appreciating me. Next up, we're going just down the road a little bit down to Cherry Creek. So Cherry Creek has a couple of new developments. I talked about a month ago about the redevelopment of the space that's just west of the Cherry Creek Mall there, the area that used to have like Elway's Bar and Runner's Roost and a couple other stores. That's where they have the in the summertime they'll have the farmers market over there. But that area is being redeveloped. They're putting in some open mixed space retail apartments and some open space there. But this here is our house. Our house, I think, is the builder of this. It's ARHAUS. So I'm saying our house sounds right to me. But this is the Oasis Apartments. This is going to be opening up on 299 Milwaukee Street, which is just north of Second Street. So you are right in the mix of all the good things here. True Food Kitchen, one of my favorite places. Oh, all about roofing. You stayed there on a promo. See, I need to get the hookup. You need to reach out to me and tell me how I get involved more. But yeah, True Food Kitchen's right there. Machete Tacos and Tequila is fantastic. One of my favorite clothing stores over there, even though I'm a Ohio State Buckeye fan and it is a Michigan-based company. Don't know if it's going to pop up on here. State and Liberty, amazing men's clothing in there for athletic fashion, I guess you would call it. So that is what's going on just north. So our house is um building, what do they have? 18,000 square foot showroom. The Oasis. So our house is actually a furniture company, and they have stores in Cherry Creek, the retail stores. They have stores over in Park Meadows Mall as well. But this is going to be a mixed use development that's going to be coming to the area, and really a hot area because Cherry Creek has some of the lowest retail vacancy rates at 1.4 when the rest of the city is around like 3.4. So hot area, hot retail, amazing place to go out and walk around, night out in town, date nights, everything like that. And the Cherry Creek Mall is one of the malls. I mean, if you go back to Ohio, where I'm from, the malls where I used to just stomp around as a young go hard, Spencer Gifts, Aeropostale, Hollister, all those spots. Um, the mall used to just be a place that you would cruise around, but a lot of malls in the country are hurting, but not our Colorado malls. I mean, the Colorado Mills is doing good, Cherry Creek Mall is doing good, and Park Meadows is one of the nicest malls that I've been into. So they're going to have 177 residential units, 28,000 square feet of ground floor retail space and 6,000 square feet of public park with fountains. So cool stuff coming in over there in Cherry Creek. Some of my favorite spots to go to, Cherry Creek. I already told you, True Food. There is the Blue Oyster, I believe it's called Blue Oyster, a really good seafood spot over there, and just a very walkable spot. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people looking for luxury apartments over in that area, especially if you want to be able to just park your car, use your car on the weekends, but you just want to have awesome walkability. And Cherry Creek for me, it feels pretty safe. I never feel, you know, vulnerable walking around there. And that's coming from a guy that's 5'9". And if you guys haven't yet, um you haven't given me a shout out for, apparently it's the short king week. So 5 through 5'9". So May 5th through May 9th is apparently short king days. And I, at 5'9", I am the tallest of the short kings. So from that lens that I'm going to look at it, I'm pretty tall for a short king. So that's what's going on over in Cherry Creek. Talking a little bit of housing news as far as residential sales. This is coming from the Denver Business Journal, saying that younger prospective homeowners are showing particular interest in one specific type of home. So Gen Z and millennials struggling with home prices. It is a hard time out there for first time home buyers. If you have owned a home, just wear some shoes, bro. Uh, all about roofing. Do we know each other? You are talking to me like you know me, and I think this is the first time you've been on a live stream. Not saying that's bad. You are super welcome here, and I love to have you. I love to get to know my peeps on the live stream. So welcome, and yeah, I don't think 5'9" is short at all. I always tell people we should. All right, let's figure it out. Let's do a promo together. But I always tell people I feel big until I leave my house. And then I go out in the real world and I'm like, geez, there's some giants here. Or I go to jujitsu and I get beat up by very large men. Cool. So yeah, they're just talking about the Gen Z buyers, 54% of renters. What I was saying earlier is what's making it hard, because if you haven't owned a home yet, I mean, if you've owned a home anytime between 2012 and now, you have had the gift of equity, which really helps out for that next move up purchase. If you're going from a condo to a house, or talk a little bit about Evergreen pricing later, going from a house to a mountain house. It's hard because the prices are high due to inflation and the interest rates that were super low between 2020 2022. That drove up prices as well. But there's some additional key costs that are affecting these Gen Z and millennial buyers. One of them being homeowners insurance. So that rolls right into this article here by, this is Redfin. So Redfin had this article. So new deal breakers is derailing some home sales. And what it is it's the home insurance cost, because they have been, as our climate is increasing or increasing in temperature, we're having more threats of wildfires. And I know when we think wildfires, a lot of us think about the mountains, but you only need to look back a year or so ago to the Marshall fires in North Denver area to see that it can strike a suburban area, and we're really like just a matchbox. Your home, just think of it as like a matchbox with oil, your roof poured on top of it, and it is just ready to burn. So as we're having more of these catastrophic events, insurance companies are increasing premiums. And this, according to this survey, it says 47% of agents surveyed said that they've encountered more issues with home insurance during a transaction over the past year compared to years before. And I am one to tell you that is true. Definitely, especially since I work a lot in the mountains, we are finding that it is not that first call that you're going to make that you're going to find your insurance company. The State Farm, the Allstates, the Farmers of the world. they are don't expect them to automatically insure you, and if they do, it's going to be at a higher cost. But we have a long list of local providers as well for our homeowners to or potential homeowners to start calling through. And this probably doesn't look like it's going to be anything that's going to slow. So premiums have already increased about 33% on average from 2000 to 2023, and that is wild. The gift of living in Colorado is that as the home prices increased, we're not hit as hard as some areas like out east, for example, that have really high property insurance costs. So that makes it even harder when you have a larger down payment that you have to put down. Property insurance costs are higher, and then on top of that, the home insurance and um, property tax rates are much higher. So it's just all around a tough time for first time home buyers. So on average, prices have increased 33% over the past 3 years, 13% after you account for inflation. But that still is a lot. They're expecting that homeowners are going to be paying $700 more in annual insurance premiums by 2053. I feel like I think that's a low estimate there. So tough time for first time home buyers. Yeah, I would say the saving grace for home first time home buyers, if you're one of those folks out there right now, is that there is less competition on the market and we are seeing more properties hit the market. So since there's less people buying right now because of the cost, it is a better opportunity for buyers to get credits to help out cover alleviate some of your closing cost, and then we could do what's called a rate buy down, which temporarily or permanently can reduce your interest rate. So asking for credits from sellers that are ready to go, they're looking to put a deal together. Now is the time to do that for first time home buyers. Watching coming in from Colorado Springs. That is cool. As everybody else is jumping on, say what's up. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Fire resistant roofs and vents are key. Insurance or canceling policyholders with zero claims. It is getting real. So even if you inquire on a claim, you can be terminated by your insurance company. So this isn't just a Colorado issue. It's happening a lot in Florida. It's happening a lot in California, but has been a problem. And yeah, you can make. I'm actually shooting videos. I got one that's being edited right now talking all about property insurance. So make sure if you guys haven't yet, also subscribe to my Somewhere in Colorado channel. That's more where you have like neighborhood tours, vlogs, this area versus that area. So I have a Colorado Springs video coming up, property insurance video coming up, and I'm just prepared to shoot a home hardening video. That's what they call it, home hardening. So things like metal roof, yeah, metal roof, screens on your vents. So I think that's what you mean there. So screens on your vents, because it's typically not the firewall that's going to set your home on fire. A lot of time it's the embers that are traveling, up to a mile, that can get into the cracks and vents and vents and screens underneath your porches. Advocating to get rid of the mulch, and if you're in the mountains, thinning out the trees within 100 feet of your house. So I got a cool video coming up for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell on Somewhere in Colorado so you're getting those updates. Yeah, especially Colorado Springs if you're balling on a budget. So good point here too. All about roofing. So uh, compared to Denver, we are seeing more first-time homebuyers that are taking their talents south, just like LeBron James, taking their talents south to Colorado Springs because the affordability in the Springs is much better um, than the Denver area, and even the mountain markets. So Woodland Park, which I consider kind of like the what Evergreen is to Denver, Woodland Park is to Colorado Springs, about a 45-minute drive to get back down the hill. pricing in the mountain markets near Colorado Springs are better as well. So, good point. Next up, talking about the construction project. Now, I don't know how many of you guys take this route. I know probably more of you are taking I-70 to get into the mountains, but if you have taken 6th Avenue right past Golden through the canyon, connects up to Blackhawk, and then it also cuts over to jump back on I-70. But they have been working on a trail system over there for runners, walkers, bikers, to be able to connect basically Wheat Ridge up to eventually up to Idaho Springs. So they say that the next 1.25 miles of the trail should be open by Labor Day. And this is according to what's that gentleman's name? The construction manager. But big time money's being pumped into this by Jefferson County and the Great Outdoors Colorado, $180 million project, which I think is kind of wild because it's right in a canyon, and of all the places to spend $80 million, it seems like I don't know, do we need that trail? But it is a really hot spot for outdoor enthusiasts, not just runners and bikers, but if you're driving up that road, you will see all the cars parked on the side of the road because there are some areas that have 1,000-foot cliffs, and it's just a very popular mountain climbing area. So tons of work being done because they are just chopping out chunks of the rock, and they're having to close sections of the rafting that is very popular with kayakers and things like that because the rocks are falling in. They're dropping rebar and stuff like that. And according to this article, there is a lot of shopping carts in the water as well for some reason. But they have two of the 200-foot bridges installed, and they're going to continue working on this. I really enjoy driving by these construction sites. Both the one I know it's annoying to so many people what's going on between Floyd Hill and Idaho Springs, but much needed revamp of that section there. And then this section here, I think it's just super impressive what we can do with just carving out trails and roads in the mountains. I mean, on Floyd Hill area, they're essentially chopping down slowly but surely. They're hacking away at two essentially like big foothills to be able to reroute and create more of a straight line, clear path, and better visibility along I-70. So let me know if you guys have any questions, anything burning in your brain that you want to ask me about the area, about whatever. That's what I'm here to do. Chop it up with the community. So thank you, All About Roofing, for engaging today. I appreciate you. But now I'm gonna get into 5 apps that if you're moving to Colorado, new to Colorado, I think these are 5 apps that should be downloaded on your phone to have the most fun hot girl, hot boy summer that you want. The first is going to be Watch Duty. Now, this is more of a safety app, but I think I downloaded it for the first time last year as we were seeing some of these fires pop up, and it's very helpful because it'll give you up to date information about fires in the area, how much they've spread, how much they're currently um, contained. And right now, we got that big dump of snow. It's really nice to see. We don't have anything going on right now, but in the summer, we're going to be coming into wildfire season here very quickly. It is upon us, and with all the out of towners not listening to the fire ban rules and creating fires, they are going to you're going to see this starting to light up. So always a good idea to have this on your app to see where the fires are, where they are spreading. Give an example here. This is Iron Fire in the Gila Wilderness down in New Mexico. It's a currently 637 acre fire, and they have it 45% contained. So definitely download that. That is just a safety thing. But if you want to get out there and you want to light up the trails in a uh, non ignition way, download the All Trails app. This is not sure what you're referring to, just stubborn. Um, the All Trails app is one of my favorite apps for hiking. And whenever somebody's coming in and recommending hikes, I'll give them a couple, but I always recommend that they check out the All Trails app for a couple reasons. It's going to be able to pull up your location, find yourself on the map, but able also download that map. So if you lose service, you can still find your coordinates where you are in relation to the map. I can't tell you how many times I've been out there hitting the trails and I think I'm walking the right path, but all of a sudden the path starts to fade away. I'm like, where am I? And luckily, I have the All Trails app and I can see where I need to get back to get back on the trail. Every year, hikers get lost in the foothills, and you don't want to be one of them. So it's going to tell you not only length, but I like that it also gives you the difficulty. And on top of that, what's great, say, especially during the mud season, you can click on the trail that you're looking and get insight to the trail conditions. So there's a little bit of the weather, but here's one. Just a couple days ago, most of the trail is exposed with no shade, bone dry. So if you're thinking about, okay, do I need my spikes still in my shoes because we're gonna hit it like a patch of ice, or is it super muddy? Whatever. Good to know. Also, when you're taking those doggos out, it's really nice to get an idea of um how much of this is going to be shaded. Like, for example, this one you could see it's up the side of the hill, a lot of back and forth. And so if you're doing that in July in the middle of the day with your dogs, not a great idea unless you're packing a lot of water. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it anyways because that sun is she's strong. But I like to find out the trails that'll have access to the water for the dog and being able to hit some shade as I'm getting after it. Next app for you guys is the Dirt. So if you want the dirt on dispersed and paid camping spots in the state, the Dirt will give you all the locations in your area and reviews. So it lets you know if there's a cost. A lot of the dispersed camping spots, especially national forest, they will still tell you, where you can and can't park and camp and everything like that. So good app to have. And what I would recommend over this is if you do find a sweet camping spot, I recommend creating a little treasure for you and your friends. Get a Google map and share it with your friends. That way you can put a pin on the location of an awesome camping spot. Don't share it with anyone. Camping spots are like my precious. Why should you have it? So you keep those camping spots to yourself because the biggest bummer is when you're trying to go out to your super secret spot and then you roll up and there's already tents there. So I like to have a Google sheet with pins dropped and then I add photos of the spot so that when I'm there, I could see exactly where it is. What is up, Purely Colorado? What up, Nick Ancrum? Good to have you on tonight. Opinion on the gun rights. I feel we are under attack, though. I did mention that I brought that up a couple of weeks ago around the Polis's new gun restrictions. So it's not a gun ban, but you can't not say it's not infringing on our Second Amendment right to bear arms. Because now you have to go through a screening process and take classes to get basically any gun with um a what's it called, a detachable magazine, and that's pretty much all guns unless you have a revolver or a shotgun. I mean, or some hunting rifles are excluded from that, but yeah, I would say I'm not a fan of it. With all the mass shootings we have, I think we all agree we have to do something. However, You can't not say that this is not infringing on our Second Amendment right, and then you're in the system. They're tracking you, so just more control. That's my piece on that. Next app I would recommend is Eventbrite. And I know a lot of people are like, all right, well, I've heard of Eventbrite, but it is a great website to use to, maybe you're new to the area and you need to get out there. You need to find a very specific group that you're comfortable with. Dog meetups, frisbee golf, whatever you want. There is an event for you. So Eventbrite will give you all kinds of good events, spanning from comedy, live music, just little social outings. There's probably like a um, Shiba Inu meetup that you can go hang out with me and D'Artagnan. So definitely download the Eventbrite and go have some fun. And the last app I would recommend that you have, if you're looking to do any of these activities with somebody, is I'm no longer a single man, but I was single man for a long time. And I'd say of all the dating apps out there for the area, I recommend Hinge. It's, I mean, all apps, we are in hookup culture, and Denver is definitely, um, surveys say Denver is one of the hottest hookup cultures in the area. So if you're looking for that, I mean, you got Tinder, you got Bumble, you got the other stuff. But I have found really nice ladies on the Hinge app. So if you're looking to meet somebody, download Hinge, set up a profile, take some time, especially as a guy. Some of these girls are going to have such ridiculous, amazing profiles because girls take amazing photos. But as a guy, we hate it, right? I hate taking photos, and so having some good photos is sometimes a struggle, but take a minute to complete your profile. Don't be weird, and download Hinge, and then go have some fun. Meet yourself somebody. And what did I have for you guys? I'm gonna wrap up today. You like that answer? Thank you. Phew, huh. um, yeah, but to wrap up today, I'm just gonna give you guys a little list. So I do these live streams, and if you follow me on Instagram, or if you pay attention to these YouTube channels that we have, which we have three of them now. We have Somewhere in Colorado, which is vlogs, neighborhood tours, pros and cons lists, things like that. This is the Uncut Somewhere in Colorado channel, where I do 2 live streams a week. So Thursdays, the first 3 Thursdays of each month, we go live at 6:30, and this is really talking about just things to know about Colorado, updates, new news, stuff like that. And then Saturday, 8 a.m. Both of these are Mountain Standard Time. So 6:30 Thursdays, 8 a.m. on Saturdays. You're like, why 8 a.m.? It's because I'm in real estate, and Saturdays are a big day for me. So I can't be taking out the afternoon on a Saturday to be on sitting on a live stream. That's not a great use of my time. But on Saturdays, we go live. I walk you through every new mountain home to be hitting the Foothills market just west of the greater Denver metro area. Yeah, that's like the nicest thing. There you go. We got Jared in. I don't have a hat on today. I'm trying this new look, guys. So I'm working on this brushback look. It's not quite long enough on top to lay down. Starting to get long enough on the sides to brush it back. So this is my grand reveal of the longer hair for this season. So we're working on this, but I don't have a hat on. But Jared and my lady Mel, good to see you guys hanging out over in Kittredge. Did you guys have fun in the snow the other day? I was actually in Morrison today shooting a video, and I was coming up the canyon there, just driving through the canyon from Morrison up to Evergreen. Just one, it's absolutely beautiful, especially at the first part there. And then just all the hiking trails right there. It's a great place to be. Um, Forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so we have those 3 channels. So Somewhere in Colorado, this is the live stream channel. You're here, you're right where you need to be. And then we have the Mountain Living in Colorado, which is a newer one. We are taking the Saturday live streams and then putting them on the putting them on the Mountain Living in Colorado channel in a more digestible fashion. So if somebody wants to, continually look week over week at properties that are 900,000 to 1.1 million, you can easily on the Mountain Living in Colorado channel easily follow my dear friend Buck at the bottom of the screen, and then you can go to your price point and stay up to date on what's happening in these hills. But lastly, I'm going to hit you with four pros and four cons of Evergreen, Colorado. So, Evergreen, Colorado is a really sought after community, just about 30 minutes. To get to the heart of Evergreen around the lake, it's about 30 minutes from the Front Range, and just such a hot area. It's a large area too. It spans from I-70 down to 285, and so lots of houses in there, lots of great sense of community. So I'm going to hit you with. Oh, and I'm gonna ask Jared and Mel, since you guys are right in the area, let me know which what I might have missed. So three pros or four pros, access to Denver. So of all the mountain areas, one of the reasons that Evergreen is so expensive, one of the cons I'm going to get into here, but it's proximity to the Front Range. So you can live in Evergreen and still meander down the hill regularly for work. So just that first, basically first big mountain town as you're heading west, and so that is a big pro for Evergreen, just the location, location, location. Number two, second pro, I think it has one of the best downtown areas of all the mountain towns. I think the only rival might be Estes Park as far as mountain towns that are close to the Front Range area. Evergreen downtown has a whole bunch of great restaurants, local shops, and they really do keep it local. There's a Baskin Robbins there, which really sticks out like a sore thumb, but the but everything else is just hyper local, great restaurants. I love Murphy's. I love Cactus Jack's. I love Campfire Pizza, Lariat Lounge. Muddy Buck for coffee, Wildfire Flower for breakfast, although it's a super small spot. And they are getting the Cow. I think it's called the Cow Eatery. They have one down in Morrison, and they're putting a new location right in downtown Evergreen. So as far as walkability for a downtown area, Evergreen is really unmatched. You can take a stroll around the lake, do some paddle boarding, do some ice fishing, whatever you want around the lake, and then just roll right in on the sidewalk into Evergreen downtown. So that's awesome. Number three, best area if you like wildlife, especially those beautiful butts of those elk. Every time I'm coming through, not every time, but 9 times out of 10, when you're rolling through Evergreen, you will not only see an elk, you will see a herd of some capacity. Herd diet. They are always in Elk Meadow. That's why they call it that. But then they're also all through South Evergreen, south of the lake as well. So I love the elk herd. I love the big boys with the big antlers, and it's just such a distinct change from the Front Range, and seeing those animals up there really makes you feel like you made it. You're in the mountains. And the uh, fourth pro of Evergreen would be high school. The high school is rated 10 out of 10. So I don't have any kiddos, but I know my clients that are moving up to the mountains, Evergreen and Conifer, according to greatschools.org, Evergreen is rated a 10 out of 10 and Conifer is rated a 9 out of 10. So you really can't go wrong with either of those areas. Now, let's get into the cons. This episode, the only reason I'm getting through it today, this is brought to you by my non-sponsor, Celsius. Went with the cherry cola flavor today. I hardly ever drink these because I'm already racing high pretty much. But since I was up at 2:30 today, I was like, I need something strong. With 1,000% of biotin, I don't even know what that is. 250% of daily need of vitamin B12, 120% of B6. You're just friggin' humming on this thing. So I got a little bit more. I'll finish this and I'll go into the cons. If you guys have other topics too, topics that you guys want me to hit up on this, no topic is, I wouldn't say no topic is out of context, but if you guys have something you want me to chat about, just like all about roofing, wanted to get my piece on the new gun law in Colorado. Happy to give you guys my opinion and my insight from just Sean Murphy perspective and also as a realtor. Jared and Mill said they love that drive. Always suggest it when people come into town. Yeah, even if I-70 is quick, especially in the, and if you get that, you catch that sucker in the morning or just after a snow. Oof, awesome. And then the benefit of living in, Evergreen or Kittredge is you can skirt, just bust out of the upper south parking lot for Red Rocks. You skedaddle back up the canyon, and you don't have to fight any of the traffic of the hooligans getting out of the concerts. So let's talk about the four cons of Evergreen, Colorado. First is the hot topic I keep talking about all the time, but mountain property insurance. It is, I mean, now you're in Evergreen and certain areas like around Upper Bear Creek by like Elephant Butte. They did have a wildfire there a few years ago, burnt like half the top of the mountain off there. But it is one of the red zones, according to a lot of insurance companies. So it's not a it's not a good thing. We'll say that. But we are still finding insurance companies, but it is a little bit more of a pain in the butt. So that is con number one. Number two is living in the mountains, you're not going to get anything delivered. No, you're not going to get food. You're not going to get Uber Eats. You're not going to get Grubhub, and you're not going to get yourself delivered anywhere. Getting back from the airport, you can always catch an Uber to get yourself back up to the mountain. But when I was living in Evergreen, I tried a few times to get an Uber from my house to the airport, and I'd see a driver connect with me and a driver cancel the ride. So if you have to be at the airport on time, right? Don't rely on Uber. What I've found is that it is just a lot easier to just about the same price too, because an Uber from the middle of Evergreen where I was down to the airport around like 60, $75. And then, same thing on the way back. So with that much that you're spending, you might as well go park at the Pikes Peak lot, take the shuttle in and just leave your car there. But then, yeah, Uber Eats, things like that. Luckily, they have Cactus Jacks over there, which isn't the best food, but it's food. And they have their kitchen open late over there. Um, Fourth con would just be the big con, price point. Evergreen, that girl's expensive to live in. I pulled up the stats right before I jumped on live with you guys today. And the average in the past 90 days, the average is going to be pulled up by there's some 6 million, $8 million properties there. Not too many, but Evergreen, we look at luxury pricing as being like the top 10% of home sale prices. So Evergreen is right around like 1.8 is where you start to get into luxury pricing, but the average being at 1.2 million. A really hard time for first time home buyers or somebody again that doesn't have the gifted equity from a previous home sale to roll into that to make that monthly payment a little bit more digestible. The median might make you feel a little bit better, 950K. Does that make you feel better? Doesn't make me feel better. That's why I'm over in Idaho Springs. Idaho Springs, Clear Creek County, less expensive homes, still 20 minutes to get down, 20 minutes to get back down the hill. And um Clear Creek County property taxes are less than Jefferson County. So that is what's up. That is my list. That's the pros and the cons of Evergreen, Colorado. Any that I missed, Jared and Mel. I know you guys are up here. Anything else that I should have put on the list? I know there's a lot of things that you could say is like pros, cons, stuff like that, like animals. That's basically living in the mountains. If you have a cat, it should probably be an inside cat, or else it's going to be a snack cat by a big bird or fox, something like that. It's gonna get got. And then Yeah, a lot of people will just have for their dogs to just have a little like fenced in spot so the dogs can stay contained. You don't get a whole lot of. I mean, we occasionally do. If you have your Ring doorbell, you'll see neighbors with a mountain lion spottings every now and then. I've been here 17 years and never seen a mountain lion. Pretty sure that they've seen me, but oh, campfire left. Damn, do they have something else in that spot? You guys said I pretty much nailed it. Hell yeah. Well, that's because I know what the hell I'm talking about. But campfire left. That's lame. I'd say the other pro of Evergreen too is, like areas like Idaho Springs or like Conifer. It's just like, where's the live music? I want some twangy music going on in the mountains. I like to shake my butt a little bit. And Evergreen has like Cactus Jack will have live music. Little Bear has live music. Um, Sometimes the Creekside Winery will have person playing the piano, and then Campfire was the other spot would have live music. So interesting. Cool. All right, hey, well, that's what I have for you guys tonight. Thanks for jumping on with me. I appreciate you appreciating me by jumping on, chopping it up with me, and follow me on my IG. Go do that right now if you guys haven't yet. Rocky Mountain Murph. Rocky Mountain Murph. If you guys have questions, if you're watching this afterwards, you're watching the replay, and you have questions, you want something you want me to answer on the live stream next week, send it on over to my email, sean.murphy@moxiepropertygroup.com. And then make sure you smash that like button on your way out. So that is all I have for you guys today, other than be safe and I love you.